Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ella and welcome back to Vlogmas Day 7. So in today's episode of Vlogmas we are going to be doing a girl talk video. We are going to be talking about everything from the hoe phase, breakups, periods, fuckboys, Tinder. Honestly, we're talking about all of it in today's video. So I just checked a few of these questions before I sat down to film this and oh my god, you lot are wild. You lot are wild. I'm actually not okay. Like, I'm reading a few of these and I'm like, oh my god, guys, are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? Are you okay? First question, was it hard juggling social life and work when you started uni? Yes, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, yes. But do you know what the key thing is with time management? It's discipline. If you want to do lots of different things at the same time, so like let's say you want to have lots of different responsibilities. So in my case, I obviously have my YouTube channel, I have my Instagram, I'm also head of news at NSTV where I produce a podcast and a news show, and of course I have my degree and my part-time job. So obviously that's like 5 different sectors to my life, not even including social life and all of that kind of stuff. And the only way I keep on top of it is by just being disciplined with myself. For example, if I haven't got a video ready by Saturday night for my Sunday upload, I will stay up all night to get it done and finish for the next day because it's like a priority. I would choose that over my social life, if that makes sense. But yeah, in short, to answer your question, it was of course very difficult, but the best things in life are. Next question, is there a right age to lose your virginity? No, there isn't a right age to lose your virginity. First of all, virginity is a social construct, okay? Honestly, as I was growing up, I was always told that like losing your virginity is like such a massive thing and like there should be so much pressure on it to make it perfect and you've got to have it at like the right age. Honestly, when I was growing up, I was told that if you don't lose your virginity by 15, then you're doing it wrong. Like, how messed up is that? A, who is actually keeping score? You know, if you haven't lost your virginity by this age, who cares? Your life isn't a predetermined timeline, you know, there aren't certain things you have to do by certain ages. And if you don't feel ready at any age to lose your virginity, then don't. Wait until you're ready and you feel comfortable and it feels right for you. Don't feel pressured by any sort of timelines or expectations of what you're supposed to do. Next question, is it okay to be put off by a boy's first message on Tinder because I can get the ick fast? Oh my god, honestly, I had this conversation with my friends all the time. I get the ick so unbelievably easy. It's a joke. It doesn't take much for me to be like, that is rank, I'm off. I think as well, like because I've been in 2 relationships now and I've gone through 2 heartbreaks, I know exactly what I want from my next relationship. I know exactly the kind of person I want. I know what I expect from them. And I know that if there's any red flags, I'm running. But also, I also know that the things that annoy you in the beginning are only going to continue to annoy you as you move on, if that makes sense. So my friend once got the ick because the person she was talking to sent them a Snapchat and there was a printer in the background. And my other friend got the ick because she imagined the boy she was talking to after eating tomato pasta and having those little like that little ring of tomato sauce around his mouth. It gave her the ick just because she thought, imagine that man having tomato around his mouth. It is funny, but yeah, it is normal in short. Honestly, you don't owe anything to anyone, so if you lose interest, then that's absolutely fine. Just stop talking to them, that's what I say. Next question, how do you stop comparing how you look to someone else, especially those who are better? First of all, who says they're better? No more of that. Who says that they are better? I feel like society has us tricked into thinking that like there's a conventional way to look. Do you know what I mean? And if you have all of those conventional traits, aspects to the way you look, then that makes you better than someone else. And it absolutely doesn't, you know? I honestly used to struggle with comparing myself to others so much. I would constantly judge everything I'm doing based off of what everyone else is doing and like where I should be and all of that kind of stuff. But honestly, like, you should not be comparing yourself to anybody. A really good way to overcome this actually is to tell yourself the things you like about yourself, you know? Everybody is different, everybody is unique, and there are things that make you amazing. Make sure you know what those things are and tell yourself those things every single day. So for example, something that I really, really love about myself is my sense of humour. And I'm gonna tell it to you straight, I think I am hilarious. And I don't care if no one else thinks I'm funny. I am having a jolly old time, okay? Living my life, laughing at my own jokes. Also, everybody looks different, you know? There's not like a carbon copy of like the way you should look. And just because someone else looks different to you, that doesn't mean that they're better than you at all. Next question. Thoughts about dating but without sex? I think that whilst sex isn't the most important part of a relationship or dating someone, I do think that it is still important. You know, sex is a time when you are the most intimate you can possibly be with that person. Sex is just a thing that like bonds you together and, you know, brings you closer as a couple. And it's something that I feel like, you know, whilst you can have best friends in your life that you are emotionally very close to, I feel like that physical closeness is saved exclusively for relationships and dating, and so therefore that's what makes sort of relationships different and special in that way. I don't know if that makes sense. Next question. When do you think a person should start dating seriously long term until marriage? Marriage! Oh, marriage, run away! I don't think there's ever a right time to start dating long term or marriage, I guess. Like, there's no, as I said before, you shouldn't be living your life on an expected timeline. Like, everyone does things at different times. But for me personally, I think, like, I don't want to get married until at least 30. At least. And like, that's the honest truth. I have no interest in settling down whatsoever until I'm at least 30. So that's my personal opinion, but obviously if you feel different, then that's completely cool too. Okay, next question. Why are uni boys so confusing and commitment phobes? This is the question. No, I've had it. This is the question that we are all asking. Do you know what? Honestly, if I'm going to answer this question seriously, I think that, you know, uni boys and girls are commitment phobes and confusing at this age. I think, you know, uni is a very sort of transitional time. You know, you're halfway between a child and a full-blown adult. You know, you've got the independence of living with your friends, but also you're still financially dependent in some way on someone. So it's like a really weird time where, like, you know, you've got so many people telling you so many different things about relationships. Like, some people say you're going to meet the love of your life at uni, and other people are saying, you know, you absolutely need to be single for uni because this is when you find yourself, and all of that. Like, these are two like conflicting things that you as uni students are getting told constantly. But I do feel like, you know, if people don't want to settle down at this age, I do think it's kind of understandable. Like, you know, most students at university are still very, very young. I think it's good to date and sort of, you know, if you get into a relationship and you're happy, then that's great, but you shouldn't be wasting your time at university settling down, because there's so much time to settle down. You know, for the rest of your life, you're going to be spending the rest of your life settling down, and university is one of the few times when you can go out and have fun. So that's probably like the logic behind being a commitment phobe at uni and being so confusing. Most people at uni just want like a casual thing. That's the kind of thing I've gathered. Like, not many people are out here looking for relationships. Relationships just kind of happen because of like casual flings, from what I've gathered. Honestly though, I feel you. We're all asking the same question, girl. Next question. Tips for living in a uni house with all girls. Got a bit bitchy during isolation. I could not imagine living with all girls. I could not imagine it. I hear, you know, I've got so many friends that live in all girl houses, and some of the arguments that go on, I'm like, I think, you know, if you are in a bitchy house, I think the biggest thing is just communication. I think also, like, nobody should be bitching about anybody when you're living with people. I honestly think it's the most toxic thing when, you know, I hear about girls bitching about other girls in the same house. I'm like, this is where you live. This is your safe space. Like, don't be making it toxic by bitching about people and trying to poison people against other people. Like, no, like, this is your home. You're all paying to be there. You're all friends. I think if there's any issues, just be like, if you've heard someone's got an issue about you, bitching about you, whatever, just have it out with them face to face. Don't need to argue. Just politely talk about the problem and say, look, I'm really happy to talk about anything, anytime, and I want everyone to be comfortable here. And honestly, the bitchiness is making me feel really uncomfortable, and I just really love to get everything out in the open. I think most times just having an honest, calm conversation can solve most things, and the more you talk about something, the better it will become, and you never know, the other girls in your house might be feeling the same way. So try to have an open, honest conversation and go from there. So next question, feel like I always get flaked on or stood up on dates, any tips? So I've personally never got stood up on or flaked on, I guess, for a date. I think generally with dates, just try not to put too much pressure on it. I feel like as girls, you know, whenever we go on a date, we literally have imagined the whole date before you've even left the house, before you've even started putting our makeup on. Do you know what I mean? Once that date is in the diary, we've already visualised it. We've thought about a few things, questions we're going to ask, things we're going to say, things we're going to wear. You know what I mean? We've already thought it through. Am I going to kiss this man? Do you know what I mean? We've already imagined what we will wear on our wedding day, what our kids' names will be. Girls move mad before dates, and I think a lot of it is in our heads. I just think like with first dates especially, I think there just needs to be a lot less pressure. Like think of it more as like meeting up with a friend for a drink. Try to think of it as just meeting up with a friend and building a friendship instead of making it in your head to be like such a massive thing, because I feel like the more pressure you put on it, the more likely you are to be let down if they do flake or stand you up. For them actually standing you up, that's really sad, and I feel like they should probably just communicate with you and rearrange. There will be a person you meet who won't flake on you and who won't stand you up. You just need to sort of persevere, and you know, if they flake on you, then they're obviously not the right person for you. Okay, next question. Do you get bad period cramps? I actually don't get that bad period cramps. To be honest with you, I've been on the pill and then the implant, so like hormonal contraception, since I was 16. So I've not had like a natural period in like 4 years or something like that. So I don't really suffer that bad with cramps personally, which is something I'm very glad about, to be completely honest. Okay, so next question. Do you still miss your ex from time to time? Do you have any advice on staying strong-minded? I think it is natural to miss your ex from time to time. I think, you know, it would be really odd if you spent, you know, a year or however long with your ex-partner and then to never miss them or think about them. I think that would be pretty strange, actually. Obviously there have been times, you know, when I do miss my ex, but I think that's totally natural. And you know, for tips with staying strong-minded, I think by strong-minded I think you mean like not reaching out and like just staying strong with like your decision, or you know, staying strong with the breakup. Honestly, there's nothing I'm gonna tell you that you've not already heard, and I know that's really annoying for me to say. Like, I wish I could sit here and just give you a magic fix and there would be something I could tell you that would just make it easier, but being totally honest, like, breakups are fucking hard, and I'm sorry to swear, but they are. I can sit here and say focus on yourself, distract yourself, and all of those things are true. You know, you should absolutely pour all of your energy into focusing on you, on, you know, your own personal projects, on things you want to do, set goals, all of that kind of thing. That is absolutely something you should do. And you should distract yourself, you know, throw yourself into the gym, throw yourself into your hobbies, all of that kind of thing. But equally, like, staying strong-minded is hard. Like, it's a constant battle with yourself, and you have to, you know, fight yourself most days. Me and my friend, who are both going through breakups at the same time, you know, I remember saying to her, like, you know, I feel like I'm constantly arguing with myself. I feel like I'm constantly like having an argument with myself about this situation. I'm constantly questioning myself, pulling myself up on things. And it's just, honestly, it's just a battle of your will. You just have to fight yourself and remind yourself of the reasons you're not with that person, and remind yourself of the things that you have gained. You know, especially if you're a few months down the line in a breakup, there will already have been things that you have gained from breaking up with that person, and you just have to reaffirm and realize what those things are and focus on them, and focus on why you're not with that person. It doesn't have to be negative. You don't have to hate on them or call them names or any of that kind of thing. Just, there is a reason that you broke up, and you need to focus on that. Next question / dilemma. What do you think of a boyfriend having his BFF which he wouldn't stop snapping and messaging? My boyfriend does that, and I feel toxic if I ask him to stop because it's his BFF, but it's weird how close they are. I think from what it sounds like, you are genuinely suspicious of his behaviour, which honestly, like, whilst I can sit here and pretend to be holier than thou, I think I think most girls would feel insecure if their boyfriend had like a super close girl best friend. And that's not because we don't trust the guy or even because we don't trust the girl. I think it's just a natural insecurity that a lot of girls have. But I think the way to sort of get through it is to be honest with your partner about your insecurities and how you're feeling. So whilst I don't think you should have any jurisdiction over your partner's actions, I do think you should have an honest conversation about how you're feeling, because if you let this bubble up, it's just going to become more of a problem and you're going to end up really falling out over it. Okay, next question. Tips for staying safe during a hoe phase. It do be tough out here on the streets, but you know what? Us ladies have got each other, do you know what I mean? So, tip number one, make sure you are getting regularly tested, STI tested. Honestly, this is really, really important because STIs such as chlamydia and gonorrhea can sometimes be completely symptomless, and they can actually cause things like pelvic inflammatory disease and lead on to cause infertility, which is really, really, really serious. You know, if you're sleeping with a guy, make sure your partner is wearing a condom. This is really, really important because it stops the spread of STIs and of course will stop you getting pregnant. Also, just make sure, like, if you're going on a Tinder date or going on, you know, whatever, make sure you tell your friends where you're going. Don't ever go anywhere without telling your friends where you're going, and I mean that really seriously. You know, make sure you have Find My Friends turned on. Make sure that your friends know where you're going and when you'll be coming back. Those kind of sounds uptight. It is really important for your safety during the hoe phase, but apart from that, honestly, live your best life, get that bread, get that head, then leave. Okay, and that is going to be the last question that I am answering in today's Girl Talk episode. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you would like a notification every time I upload a new video. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, then my handle is @ella.houghton. Follow me on there for all the most up-to-date information on what is going on in my life, and follow me on TikTok. My handle is @ella.houghton and the last O is a 0. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye!